Hello and welcome to my channel, Artful Creations by Tracy, and I'm Tracy. Today I am participating in a 3-week hop called Scrap Hoarder's Birthday Edition. Please be sure to check out the next person in the hop, as some of us may be giving away prizes on our channel, so be sure to follow along. You will find the next person in the hop and all the details in the section below my video. Now, speaking of giveaways, there are 3 giveaways that are open to everyone. All you need to do is like and comment each week on all the videos in the hop and you will be entered. We really love your comments, your thumbs up, and would also love it if you would subscribe and hit that bell for future upload notifications. For today's hop, some of us may be doing tags or party toppers. I will be doing tags. I am going to use some of these papers to create my tags. Now recently I did another video creating tags and I decided to go old school and use my Sizzix dies, which I'll be using again today. I'll be using the traditional tag and the crescent tag die. I'm also going to use a couple of stamp sets here, and I have 2 Made It stamp sets and a Close to My Heart stamp set, which I end up not using. Now to begin, I'll go ahead and cut out 2 of the tags using my Sizzix Big Shot, just in case some of you aren't familiar with this easy to use machine. You always place your die onto the side of the paper you want facing up, the paper that is, and then place your die onto the cutting plate directly. Add your top plate and run it through the machine. Now you don't need to run it through twice, but it was just easier for me to get my die out. I also show you that even from this scrap, I have more scrap left. I'll then cut out the other 2 off camera. Now I have my 4 tags cut out and I'm going to use these for my project. And I decided that I am going to use the shimmery paper to add a strip to the tag and layer on top of that. I'll just cut those small strips to the size of the tag, which is about 3 inches. And even though I thought I was cutting at the 3-inch mark on my cutter, I was not. So they will be slightly smaller than what I was going for. No biggie. I'll just cut those strips in half, making them about 1 1/16 inches. Thank goodness for rulers, right? I'm going to use the white cardstock for my stamping, and I want the portion of this to not completely cover the strip, and I'll cut those squares to about 2 1/4 by 2 1/2, and then I'll use the more solid pattern paper to be a mat for my white squares. And what I'm going to do is just add a 1/4 inch on each side. And because I'm really terrible with measurements and I have no idea what that equates to, I'm just going to use my cutter with all those little hash marks to determine where I will cut my paper to get the look I'm trying to achieve. I do have a cheat sheet for those measurements on a ruler, but to be honest, I really don't feel these measurements need to be exact. If you want to create tags like these, you will have a general idea on what to do. I'm more of a wing it kind of a crafter anyway. It just depends on the project. Now, while I'm completing this, let's talk about my giveaway. As I stated in week's 1 video, I have been very blessed to win some fantastic prizes on several YouTube channels over the last year, and I really do want to give back to the crafting community. What you need to do is watch all 3 of my videos over the following weeks and give me a thumbs up, as I would really appreciate that. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't either. Then leave me a comment below and answer a question that I ask in each of the videos. And today's question is, do you create tags and how do you use them? Do you use them for gifts or for cards too? Now currently my giveaway is for the lower 48 in the US. Now it's time to glue everything down using my Barely Art glue, which is barely coming out. I'm going to try and add these strips to the middle of the tags using my mat as an aid to do so. Remember, my strips are not exactly the same length as my tag, and I do want them to look pretty straight. Now, I have all my strips on, and before I tack down my sentiment pieces, I'm going to stamp them with the birthday greetings using my Misty stamping platform. And actually, I see I'm a little ahead of myself, but now you know what's coming. I'm going to create each one differently using the stamps from just the Made It stamp sets. I'm not going to show you all the stamping, but I will show you that for the candle stamp, all I do is slide my paper over and line that up instead of moving the stamp from the platform. That was the easiest outcome. Now, after stamping all the sentiments, I really thought they looked too plain, and so off camera I will color them using my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. And to be perfectly honest, I do not like coloring as much as I did when I was a kid, but I will do it when it's needed. Once I was done, I then took my blending brushes and simply added whatever was on my brush to the paper, giving it a little more dimension with color. And then on two of the sentiments, I will then add some pen art as well. I think they turned out rather cute. Now, because I love dimension, I think y'all know that by now, I will add the foam tape to those sentiments before adding them to my tags. Now, I've had this foam tape for eons, as you can see by the yellowing. And before I glue them down to the tag, I'm going to add a little extra glue for security, because you certainly don't want to make beautiful work only for it to fall apart. Then I decided that these tags need just a little bling, and using up some jewel embellishments that I would also consider to be scrap pieces, I'll add them to various areas on each one of my tags. I do think that this really gave that added extra special look to each tag. Because sometimes the piece you're working with has that perfect spot to add those gems. And that is exactly how I felt that these pieces all worked out with. Now that that is all done, we are going to go ahead and add our eyelets to the tags. Eyelets will ensure that those cutout areas won't tear when we add our string. I'm going to use my small crocodile tool, which is super easy to use. All you need to do is add your eyelet, then you're going to place that in and squeeze gently. Now I'm going to add my string, which is baker's twine, and believe me, I have a ton of baker's twine here, and add the just varying colors to each tag, and that will be my video. I hope you had a great time watching, found some inspiration. We'll continue to hop along, answer the question to win my prize giveaway, and as always, have a very blessed day.